All right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming on this morning. Uh, Feel free to ask questions as we go along. Feel free to stop me. I post a lot of different videos and content. This is more to try to be, uh, I don't know what the right word is, but let's just try to communicate a little bit with one another. That's kind of what this is for. If you have questions, don't hesitate to stop me and ask, or even throw them in the question box if you need to. But anyways, today is Friday, June 19th, and I kind of like the topics that we're going to be going over today. I think a lot of struggles agents have is the fact that they get contracted, they see the value in the final expense business, but they just don't really know how to get started. They don't know a proper, I guess they just don't have the structure. So that's kind of what I wanted to go through with you today. Just some steps that can kind of help you get on the right path to long-term success in this business. And majority of what we're going to be going through today is more focused on field sales. But I think you could probably work it both ways. We'll talk a little bit about telesales, but for the most part, it's going to be geared more towards the in-home sales. I know a lot of agents are getting back out in the field now. So I kind of wanted to, and that's really, where my expertise is in field sales. I've been out in the field now for 17 years. So most of you know me. I'm Adam Brsan. I'm our market sales director out of Chicago, Illinois, or a suburb of Chicago. A little bit about me. Like I mentioned, I have been doing this for quite a while now, about 17 years. Strictly focused on final expense. I was 21 years old when I got in the business, and it's pretty much all I've ever done my entire professional career. So where a lot of people market many different products, I've kind of found how if you have proper structure and a plan in place, you can have a pretty successful career just focused on one product. I was hired by Security National Life back in 2015. And what I mean by that, I'm an employee. Kind of a unique situation. Not many different companies out there are looking to hire people to run their regions, to work with agents and things like that. But I think that's where Security National Life is a little bit different than other companies. They really care about the success of their agents. And that's why they went out and they hired people like myself who they knew had been successful, and as well as other managers that we have throughout the country that can really help our agents to succeed and to have that long-term success in the business. And my main duties are to recruit, train, and mentor, work with agents. And I still produce. I still go out in the field. Not as much as I used to. I'd say about maybe two days a week now. I'm just so busy really on the phone pretty much all day talking to agents, and people call me with questions, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. So don't hesitate. If you ever have a question, if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call me, especially if you're in a house or something. I just know how it can be when you're in a home and you have a question. Maybe your client, there's a health issue or something you're just not quite sure about and things like that, and you can't get a hold of anybody. Well, call me, and I can help you. The last thing you want is to provide incorrect information to your client or your prospect. You could end up losing a sale if you don't get the information that you need. So that's what I'm here for. Call me. I've been doing this a long time. I know what works. I know what doesn't. There's really no need to reinvent the wheel. So we do our weekly raffle. It's something I started about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And I've been raffling off, and maybe I'll mix this up a little bit, but I'll probably keep it this way for at least a couple weeks or 2 or 3. Once I come up with maybe some other ideas, I'll put something else together. But been raffling off a S&L golf shirt and a $25 Amazon gift card. Now, the way that the raffle works, any business that you submit after 11:30 in the morning on Thursdays to before 11:30 in the morning the following Thursday. So it's like a Thursday to Thursday week. The reason I do that is because I look up the production on Friday morning before our training. And then I look up all the agents who wrote business. The way that it works to receive a chance to win, every single application that you write gives you one chance to win. And so let me switch over real quick, and I'm gonna do this raffle. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spin the wheel and see who wins. All right, hey, it looks like Larry B won. Hey, thank you, Larry. Larry submitted, I think, 5 or 6 apps this week. So thanks a lot, Larry. If you're on the call, congratulations. If not, I'll be getting in touch with you afterwards. And I'll be sure to get you a SNL shirt, and you'll be receiving that $25 Amazon gift card. So thanks again. Appreciate all of you. And if you want to win next week, just submit as many apps as you can. That'll give you as many chances to win. We are going to be going over helping you get your business up and running, the proper steps that are necessary for long-term success. We're going to talk about ordering leads. I've had a lot of agents recently emailing me, calling me, just asking. They tell me, I have lead credit and I need to know how to use it. So we're going to talk about ordering leads, who I think you should order through, how often you should order, all those things. We'll talk about working the leads. We're going to talk about preparing to present. I'm going to kind of show you where everything's at. You can start to learn the presentation that I use if you'd like. And then next week, we're going to go through the presentation. So if you want to see my presentation, well, get on here next week and we will be going through it. So part of our getting up and running, I guess you could say, for new agents is our Fast Start program. I think it's probably one of the biggest incentives, one of my biggest obstacles in this business working with agents is working with people who are motivated. They really see the value and they really want to get started in this business, but they just don't have a lot of money for leads. I love what we've done with the Fast Start program. I think that anybody out there, even though leads are very important and probably what's going to keep you in business, I think anybody can figure out a way to write one app without leads. Okay, if you're motivated, you tell me you're motivated, and you really want long-term success, you're going to figure out a way to write one app without leads. Work your warm market, go on Facebook, talk to your friends, families. You'll figure out a way to write that one app if you truly are as motivated as you tell me you are. So figure out a way to write that one app, and you're going to receive one of these SNL golf shirts, but also you're going to get $250 in lead credit. Now, the second achievement, if you write $3,500 in premium your first 30 days, so that's about maybe 5 or 6 apps, not too difficult. You'll receive another $250 in lead credit. And then the third achievement, $7,000 in premium over your first 60 days, another $250. So right there, that's $750 in lead credit, and that's over and above the main lead credit program where you get 10% of the annualized premium. So right there, if you write $7,000 in premium your first 60 days, well, you get all 3 of those bonuses as long as you hit all those, but then also 10% of the $7,000. So bare minimum, that's $1,450 in free leads, as long as you're willing to put your own portion into it. And that's kind of how I look at it. I look at it as, you know what, if you're willing to invest in yourself, we're going to be willing to invest in you too. But it starts with you. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. And if you are, you're going to have a lot of benefits to take advantage of here. So just a quick breakdown of the lead program. And this is probably the biggest thing that attracted me to Security National Life. I was with another company for 11 and a half years, and I heard about Security National Life and the LEAD program. Where I was at the time, LEAD prices just continued to increase. And I think when I started there, I was spending about maybe 17 or $18 a lead for direct mail leads. And by the time I left, I was paying like double that. So I heard about SNL's LEAD program, and I knew that it would be a great thing, not only for myself, but at the time I was developing an agency. And I knew that my agents needed help, but I also knew that other people out there, I think everybody's looking for help when it comes to leads. Leads are not cheap anywhere you go. I feel like our LEAD program gives agents the ability to see twice as many people, because you could be spending the same amount of money you would be spending anywhere else, and you're going to get twice as many leads, because we're basically going to match whatever you're willing to put into it, as long as you've generated enough lead credit to do so. So it's a 10% bonus based on the annualized premium of the policy. For instance, you wrote a policy on a husband and wife and it's $1,800 annualized. Well, right there, you have $180 in lead credit coming to you. And like I mentioned, it's a bonus. It's not a reduction in commission. We don't 1099 lead credit, so it's not even counted as income. It actually adds maybe a few extra percentage points to your contract because of that, because we're not taxing you on it. You must produce a minimum of $1,500 annualized premium in a calendar month to receive lead credit. I don't think that's too hard to do. 1,500 is like maybe 2 apps or one big one. So as long as you can write 1,500, and you will receive lead credit on that 1,500. And we're going to cover half the cost of your leads with the lead credit that you generate. So like I mentioned, if you're used to spending, let's say $450 a week for leads, keep spending that $450. Now you're going to be able to get $900 worth of leads. So what's that going to do? Well, it's going to give you that many more people to see, and you're going to make that many more sales, and you're going to make that much more money, regardless of if you have a higher contract with another company. Makes no difference. I mean, on that higher contract, you're not earning lead credit, and you're going to have half as many people to go see. So I really believe, I don't think there's really a better system out there to help agents, for one thing, put you in front of a lot more people. And that's really the name of the game. The more people you have to see, the more sales you're going to make. Now, you must maintain 70% or greater first year persistency. And if you're consistently writing with us, I don't think there's any reason your persistency should be anywhere around 70%. My first year persistency hangs like right around 90%. Our rates are very good. It's very difficult to replace us. I haven't had one piece of business replaced in the 5 years that I've been here. So replacement is pretty minimal. That helps with building renewals and all those things too. But as long as you're consistently writing, there's no reason your persistency should really be anywhere near 70%. And you can check your lead credit on the SNL website, and then you place the orders directly with the lead vendor. So you would contact the lead vendor, and I'm going to go through that a little bit here shortly, where you'd contact the lead vendor. You let them know, of course, you have to let them know that you have lead credit with Security National Life. If you don't let the lead vendor know that you have lead credit, well, then they're going to end up charging you for the full bill. And that's what we don't want. We want to be able to help you with this. So you contact, but what I like about this too is that the only part we are involved in is helping you pay for the leads. The leads are going straight to you. So we're not taking the leads and printing them out and then sending them to you. I mean, those leads are coming straight to you. That's an exclusive lead. The only part we're involved in is helping you pay for it. And with the direct mails, you do get the hard copies in the mail with a lot of the lead vendors that we use, which I like. So the different lead vendors that we're using on direct mail. And hold on a second. I think I had a comment or chat. Let me see. Okay, someone just had comment, I think just about the raffle. So the vendors for direct mail. We have Lead Connections, Need a Lead, and Lead Concepts. Lead Connections is in most areas is $30 a lead or $450 per thousand. Need a Lead is $32 a lead in most states or $450 a thousand. And then Lead Concepts, they only do 1,000-piece mailers. They range between $445 and $485 per thousand. They have a first-class mailer where you can actually get the leads back very quickly, usually in about 10 business days. So, so that's kind of the thing I like about Lead Concepts is that you are going to get the leads back the fastest. The reason I have Need a Lead highlighted, that's my lead vendor of preference for direct mail. I love their system. They have a very nice lead management system that can help you stay organized. You can always go back and you can re-download leads to work in the future. Most of my top producing agents are using Need a Lead. That's the one thing that most of my top agents have in common is that they're using Need a Lead on a consistent basis, and they're ordering a set amount of leads every week. And what I mean by that, you can either do a set amount, you can pay $32 per lead, so you could order, say, 20 leads every week, or you could do that 1,000-piece mailer. When you're doing a 1,000-piece mailer, I think it's maybe a little bit more inconsistent. You don't really know what you're going to have coming back to you. I mean, you might get a very good return. Maybe you get a 2% return and you get 20 leads back. But at least by me, if I'm working out by Chicago, I'm lucky to get a 1% return sometimes. So I do the price per lead. Just to me, it's kind of like you're putting the risk on the lead vendor rather than yourself. They have to then try to generate as many leads as you are wanting to order. So I just think it's a little bit more consistent. If you're gonna work 25 leads every week, well, then you can expect to have 25 leads coming back to you. And then here's a few examples of the lead pieces. This is the one that I've been using with Need a Lead. It's the DE73. The DE stands for double envelope. And what that means is they mail the lead piece out, and then the prospect will fill the lead card out, and then they have an envelope to put it back in and mail it back. They say that sometimes the returns maybe are a little bit better doing it that way because people's information then is just not out in the open. So I seem to be having pretty good success with this lead piece. Other agents of mine as well. What I like about it is that it's not offering anything for free. We're not offering a free Walmart gift card. We're not offering a free memorial guidebook. People are filling this out because they're looking for insurance, in my opinion. Now, if the lead just came straight out and said, fill this card out if you want to buy a life insurance policy, you wouldn't get any leads back, or very few. So that's why the lead pieces are worded the way that they are worded. You may qualify for a state regulated program to pay for your final expenses. It's important you know how to qualify for this life insurance benefit available to you. So it does say life insurance. This benefit will pay for 100% of all funeral expenses up to $35,000. The payment is tax-free for Illinois residents. You are entitled to receive no-cost information as a resident of Illinois. Please return this postage paid card within 5 days. So I think that it's a good lead piece. It does say life insurance. It's a pretty common lead piece that I know a lot of people are using. But what I like is that it's not offering anything for free, especially if I'm doing that price per lead. Well, I want the best quality lead piece that I can get for my money. If I'm doing a 1,000-piece mailer, maybe I'll add something like a free memorial guidebook or even the free Walmart card. It's kind of like you can choose whether you want quality or quantity. This is a lead piece where maybe the quality is a little bit better, but if you're doing a 1,000-piece mailer, the quantity is going to be less. If you're really good at sales, then you could do more of a quantity sort of lead. And this is a lead piece, and Need a Lead does a lead piece like this too. This is one that's through Lead Concepts. This one offers a lot of free, talks about a free gift card like 3 or 4 times on the lead piece. Social Security may pay up to $255 for your funeral and final expenses. It does say life insurance though. The senior final expense life insurance plan may pay up to $25,000 in addition to any other benefits you might have. To see if you qualify and receive a free gift card, mail this card back in the postage paid envelope. You must be between the ages of 45 and 85 to receive the free gift card. And then there's a box that check if you want the free gift card. So they talk about free gift cards so much, that's why I just wonder if people are filling the thing out because they want life insurance or because they've heard about this free gift card 3 times on here. Like I said, this is a lead piece that's more quantity over quality. So you might do a 1,000-piece mailer and get 30 or 40 leads back, depending on where you order. And if you're really good, and I've worked leads like this and I've done just fine, I've kind of found that if you don't bring up the free gift card, they usually don't either. So if you don't bring it up, if you just go to the door and you just talk about the final expense plan that's available, you'll have probably a better chance of getting the door and less of a chance of them just talking about the gift card. But if you go up to the door and you start talking about a gift card, well, they might tell you, well, yeah, I only filled this out because I wanted that gift card. Another lead piece with Lead Concepts. This goes back to the quality over quantity. This lead piece is so good that I'd be afraid to order it because I don't think I'd get hardly any back. And I would hope that I would close 100% of them because, I mean, it comes right out and tells you everything. A lot of this lead piece, I feel, is kind of your job as the agent in a presentation to provide this information to the client. But, I mean, it's very specific. Talks about the $255 death benefit, talks about the average funeral cost now, $7,700. I think it's probably more than that, but that's what it says in the lead piece. And with this, fill out this card if you want information on coverage up to $25,000. So even right here, I mean, the piece that they rip out and fill back. Yes, I'd like to know if I qualify for this final expense insurance program. I understand this program may pay 100% of what Social Security does not pay for final expenses. People know this is about insurance. I mean, this is an excellent lead piece, but like I said, I just kind of feel like you're not going to get many back if you do a lead piece that's this specific. And I'm going to go through ordering leads now. First, I'm going to run over to my training website and kind of show you where to go about ordering some of these things. So give me a second and I'm going to share that screen with you. AdamBrsan.com. This is the site that I use for my training. If you all you got to do is simply click on training, and that's where you're going to find a lot of the information for the leads. So I'm going to click on training and use this site. I put a lot of stuff on here. There's a training series that you can go through. As you can see, there's like 6 or 7 or 8 videos right now. I'm adding more as I go, but that can really kind of help you get up and running, learn the business, not just company specific things, but just things that are going to help you be more successful, kind of like a lot of the things that we're talking about today. There's even videos on how to get the SNL app on your phone. So you can go on there, you can find those. As you can see, there's an underwriting guide. You can download it right off of my page. There's the COVID questionnaire on there. So then we get down to the approved lead vendors. We got Need a Lead, We have lead connections, lead concepts. We went through those. The one I did not talk about is our in-house Facebook leads. The in-house Facebook leads are $20 per lead, and this is the link. So to order the Facebook leads, you would simply click on this link here on my website. It's going to take you straight to the ordering form to order the SNL Facebook leads. What I like about our Facebook leads compared to other lead vendors is that our Facebook leads, the ad is being ran right on our company's Facebook page. So, I mean, heck, it's the Security National Life Facebook page. I think majority of the people who fill that form out are going to realize that it's about insurance, being that it's coming off of a insurance company's Facebook page. So that's what I like about our Facebook leads compared to other lead vendors out there. Their ads are being posted off of very generic Facebook pages. They might call themselves like Illinois Senior Benefits or just things like that, that people might think they're getting something free from the government. See, we don't profit off of the cost of the lead. We profit from agents taking our lead and writing the business with us. It's costing us more money by placing that ad on the Security National Life Facebook page than a page that's more generic. But again, that's making that quality of that lead just a little bit better. So they're $20 per lead. Of course, once you establish that lead credit, you'd be paying $10 per lead. So let's just say that you just received lead credit. Maybe you have $300 in lead credit sitting there. Well, what I would recommend, if you are wanting direct mail leads, like I mentioned, you can call any of these. I mean, they're all good lead vendors. It might not be a bad idea. Just call each of them, chat with the people, kind of see who you feel most comfortable working with. Me personally, and a lot of my top guys, we like need a lead. And call them though. When you want to place a lead order, call the number on here, 800-253-1432. And you want to let them know that you have lead credit with Security National Life. Let them know you want to place a lead order. What they'll do is they will get you set up in their lead system. And then they will actually spend some time to kind of walk you through their whole lead management system and how you can place lead orders right through their system. So after your first conversation with them, you don't really have to call them ever unless you have an issue or something. You can place the lead orders online. You pay your portion. You can set up different payment methods. One payment method you would set up would be your lead credit. So then when you place the lead order, you put in the portion that you're paying on your credit card, and then you put in the portion that we are paying and just submit the lead orders. And the turnaround time with need a lead is about 2.5 weeks. So it's not too bad. It doesn't take too long to generate the leads. And the other places, same thing, just call them. I don't know if they have the lead management system like Need a Lead, but you can at least call them and see who you feel most comfortable working with. And then I already kind of went through the Facebook leads and how to order those leads. So that's how you order leads. Pretty easy, but like I said, just come over to my website and you scroll down on the left, all the lead vendors are here. Everything's right in front of you. 4 things that I feel are crucial to your success, especially if you're looking to make a career out of this business. You want, first and foremost, money management. We're going to kind of go through each one of these, but I think money management is crucial to success in this business. And that's because leads are so important in this business. You got to have money set aside to be able to consistently order leads. So number 1 and number 2 kind of work side by side here, money management and being able to consistently order leads. And that's, like I was saying, my top agents, that's the one thing they have in common is that they are all consistently ordering leads every week. And they're able to do that because they're good at managing their money. When they get paid, they're not going out and spending all their money. They know that they have to reinvest into their business. So money management, consistently ordering leads. You want to have some structure. You want to learn a presentation. Whether it's my presentation that's worked for me, or if you already have your own presentation, that's great. But learn a presentation, get comfortable with it. Go out in the field, and it's all trial and error. I mean, I've had agents tell me that they're afraid to go out in the field because they don't have a presentation ready yet. But the prospect doesn't know the presentation. They don't know if you're messing it up or not. But learn a presentation and get good at it, and just structure. Know what your day is going to look like. When you wake up in the morning, plan on spending the day out in the field. Know that you're going to be out there all day working. So that kind of works into the work ethic. We can teach you the first three, really, when it comes to money management and consistently ordering leads. And we have a presentation that we can help you learn. I don't think I can teach you work ethic. I can teach you all these other things, but at the end of the day, it's not worth learning any of this if you can't get out of bed in the morning. That's up to you. You're the one who has to have that drive, that has to have that passion and desire to get out there and work and make some money. So learn the first three and then get out there and do it. And if you don't have that work ethic, there's no point in even wasting your time doing the first three. But that's what it's going to take if you want to be successful in this business. And so we'll talk a little bit about money management. I believe it's crucial to set money aside if you want to have long-term success in the final expense business. I've had agents who were all-stars. They were going out there and just writing tons of business, doing really well, but they were bad at managing their money. And they were in and out of the business. And I don't know what they're doing now. They're probably waiting tables or something. They were bad at managing their money. They did not set money aside for future lead orders. And they were just in and out of the business. That constant flow of leads is what we need to be successful. You need to have at least a good 20 leads coming in every week. And I recommend plan to live on half of what you earn. So whatever kind of commission you have coming in, plan on living on half. And what I mean by that, pay your bills out of one half. Get your groceries, pay your mortgage, rent, car payments. All that's one half. The other half is leads and taxes. And you know what? Maybe setting half aside, you'll end up coming out ahead if you're not spending all that money, but you're better off to have more set aside than not enough. I recommend to open a separate bank account and call it your leads account. It's real easy these days to transfer money every day out of a bank account. Mobile banking. Every morning I receive a deposit. That's the first thing I'm doing is transferring money into a leads account and then also into my tax account. So transfer 20% of every deposit into your leads account. So every time you receive a commission, 20% of it into the leads account. I'm taking 30% after that and throwing it into my tax account. So, set that money aside for your business. Use the money in the leads account along with your lead credit to place a lead order every week. Okay, so remember this. If you're planning on wanting to be full-time in this business, a few things to remember. Your first week, you got to remember that it takes money to make money. You may have to invest more of your own money your first few weeks. And that's because you have not written business yet. You have not established that lead credit. I don't care if you have to put money on a credit card or put a lead order on a credit card. Have some confidence in yourself to know that you're going to go make a few sales and you're going to be able to pay that money back. But if you don't have a ton of money for leads, work your warm market. And like I was talking about earlier, do whatever it takes to write one application. That the fast start contest, along with some commissions that you earn, are going to help you fund that first lead order. Because you write that one app your first 2 weeks, well, you're getting that additional $250 in lead credit. So that's where, if you're struggling right now with money, I know a lot of people are, then figure out a way to write one app. Right there, like I said, commission, lead credit, boom. Now you got money for leads. And this is kind of repetitive, but you know what? Sometimes repetition is what helps people all this sink in. We got to have that steady flow of leads. And like I said earlier, plan on living on half. And if at the end of the day, at the end of the month or year, you have extra money laying around, well, take a trip or something. So this is a little plan that I put together for consistent success of what it's going to take from here on out. I mean, if you want to be a top producer, if you want to be $100,000 a year earner or more, this is what it's going to take. Your first 3 weeks. So let's just say you just started, or maybe you're just deciding right now, I've been here for a while, but now I'm serious about this. And I want to be full-time because I see the value and I see what kind of potential there is in this business. Well, this is what you want to do. Weeks 1 through 3. I recommend, like I said, this might cost you some money. Put it on a credit card if you have to. Order 20 Facebook leads and 20 direct mail leads. Now, why do I say that? Well, the turnaround time on direct mail leads is 2.5 to 3 weeks. So you're basically placing your direct mail lead order in week 1 for week 4, okay? So the Facebook leads, though, you're ordering those right now. You place that lead order, you're gonna have leads probably coming in this afternoon or like Monday. So Facebook leads is gonna create immediate activity. Now, if you're working the leads out in the field, 2 things that I recommend. I recommend, whether they're Facebook leads or direct mail leads, to order them, well, if you can order them by zip code, I know you can on direct mail. Order by zip code. And if you're ordering Facebook leads, keep the mile radius as low as you can. Try to keep it local, because it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to catch up with people that way. You don't want to do a statewide Facebook campaign if you're selling in the field. I mean, it would be impossible to be able to work those leads correctly. So Facebook, keep the mile radius low. Direct mail leads, order by zip code, because that way you order in one zip, you have 20 people to see that are like 2 minutes apart from one another. So you're going to have so much more time in the day to see people, and a lot less time driving around from one stop to the next. Any sales that you make, and this would be off of those Facebook leads or your warm market, put 20% of your commissions earned into that separate bank account, your leads account, for future lead orders. All right, so this is weeks 1 through 3. So week 1 would be the hardest. You got to remember, you should make some sales. I sure hope so. So you're going to make some sales, and with that, weeks 2 and 3, well, you're going to have lead credit established. You're going to have some commissions earned. So it should be easier to place those lead orders weeks 2 and 3. So week 1 might be the toughest, but remember, even if you don't have a ton of money laying around, figure out a way to write that one app. You got that $250 in lead credit coming, commissions. It could help you do this step here, step 1. So weeks 4 and on. Now by week 4, you should have direct mail leads coming in. So continue placing those direct mail lead orders weekly, and in time, I recommend to increase the amount of leads to maybe 25 a week to 30 a week. I mean, if you're full-time, I think you could probably handle working 25 to 30 leads every week. And I mean, and that's, like I said, I mean, that's why I've never had to do anything else. That's why I've been able to devote 100% of my time to final expense, because I've been consistent with placing lead orders. And it gets to the point where you wish that there were more hours in the day, because you have so many people to catch up with. Not everybody that, when those leads come in, I mean, you're not going to reach everybody the first week. There's going to be a lot of carryover. There's going to be carryover to week 2 to week 3. You're going to have a lot of follow-up, people that maybe just you couldn't reach the first time around. You're going to be able to go back and rework those leads maybe in 4 or 5, 6 months. So it's all about activity, but this is how we're going to create that activity. But this is a way to start. So like I said, you know, a couple slides ago, you got to be willing to invest in yourself. And if you're willing to invest in yourself, we're going to make it a lot easier on you, because we're going to help you. We're going to help you cover the other half of those leads from here on out. If now in week 4, if direct mail leads are still coming in slowly and you just don't have enough to keep busy, supplement them with Facebook leads. And that's something you could do on a regular basis. If you're ordering 20 leads and you worked them so quickly, you're actually able to get a hold of a lot of people and you have a little bit of time, well, why not order some Facebook leads? You can get them quickly. It'll just give you that many more opportunities to make some sales. But continue transferring that 20% of every commission that you earn into that separate leads bank account. It's all about discipline and money management and keeping your business up and running. So I don't care if you got other bills to pay. Pretend like you never saw this 20%. You have to. If you want long-term success in this business, pretend like you never saw that money and just use it for leads. All right. So now we're going to talk about once the leads come in. And do I have anybody have any questions before I move on here? All right. Well, I'll keep going then. Appointment setting tips. I recommend to use first names only. I think it makes you sound less salesy, I guess you could say. I use first names only. And everything that I do, I try to be a little bit different. I don't want to be like the last 10 people that these people may have talked to. Make calls every day. This is if you're setting appointments. Me personally, I don't set that many appointments. I have in the past, but a lot of times you can set up appointments and then, I mean, you spent a lot of time to set up appointments and then they're not there when you get there. So if you're somebody who cannot get out of your house unless you have an appointment set, then do this. Set up appointments. It's going to get you out of your house. But I recommend to make calls every day from 8 o'clock at night to 9 o'clock at night, no earlier. And you might be thinking that sounds kind of late. And my feelings on that are that a lot of people are very active. Even the seniors, they're active. A lot of my senior clients have grandkids that they're watching during the day while their parents are working. That, I mean, they're basically like full-time parents again. They're feeding them dinner. I mean, it's just nonstop all day. So I kind of look at it as by 8 o'clock at night, people are kicking back. They're relaxed. They're not used to getting phone calls at 8 or 9 o'clock, to 8 to 9 o'clock at night. So there's a good chance that they're going to pick up the phone, where if you call earlier, they may not. So I recommend 8 to 9 o'clock at night, no earlier. And set up your appointments on the hour. Go into the calendar on your phone and just block it out. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, all the way to 6 o'clock. Now, The reason you can do this, our appointments in home, we might be in a house for 45 minutes, but when you're working those leads locally, well, I mean, you're going to have leads that are right down the street from one another. So it's not going to take you long to get from one stop to the next. And if you're setting up appointments, you got to kind of know going in that you could set up a full day of appointments, expect half of them aren't going to be home. And if more than half are home, great. But remember that when you have no shows, you already have a bunch of leads that you can work in those areas. So you can door knock those leads in between your appointments. And so don't set up any appointments earlier than 10 a.m. for the next day unless they have to meet you earlier. And that's because anybody that you were not able to reach at night from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, you can call them in the morning. You can call your leads and try to set up appointments for the same day. Call 9 in the morning. Hey, Mrs. Jones, Adam with Security National, and I'm going to be in your area this afternoon. Just had the information to go over with you real quick. Takes about 10 minutes. And I think if you're calling the day of, there's a real good chance you're going to be able to get them at home. The closer to the time that you see them that you call, the higher the likelihood that they're actually going to be there. And if you're already on your way to your 10 o'clock appointment, get on the phone. Call those leads while you're in the car. If you get rejected over the phone, don't throw the lead in the garbage can. Take that lead, show up at their house 2 days later. They're not going to realize that you're the person that they rejected over the phone. I think that there's a lot of people on the phone that are pre-programmed to just say no. They think it's a telemarketer calling them. They don't want to give you the time of day. They're real quick to get you off the phone. So when that happens, take the lead 2 days later, show up at their house. And I've done it, and if I had not done it, I wouldn't tell you to do this, but I've done it, and I'll show up at a house, and that person that was mean and nasty to me on the phone is the nicest person in the world. They let me in the house, and I make a sale. So look at it this way. If they reject you over the phone, they have to reject it to your face too. If they tell me no over the phone, well, I want them to have to tell me no to my face as well. Or vice versa. If you're out running leads, if you door knock that lead and they shut you down in person, well, we have telesales now. You could call that person and you could try to make that sale over the phone. I did it a couple weeks ago. A lead that I showed up at a house probably 4 or 5 times. I could hear people walking around in the house and they just wouldn't come to the door. I called that lead and ended up making a sale. So it happens. So the script that I would use over the phone, it really depends on the lead piece. This would be a lead piece that's maybe a little bit more specific, that talks about life insurance. Like I mentioned, I always use just the first name. Hello, is Mary in, please? Hi, Mary, this is Adam with Security National. How are you? Kind of wait for the response, match their tone. If they're real excited and upbeat, well then be excited and upbeat. If they're a little bit more reserved, maybe you want to calm your tone down a little bit. Well, good. The reason I'm calling is that I just received the card that you mailed in. Sometimes I might even mention the color of the card. It might be like a pink card that they had filled out or a yellow card. I might mention the color of the card just to kind of refresh their memory. I just received the card that you mailed in requesting information on the life and burial coverage. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow and I wanted to go over this with you. It takes about 10 minutes to do and I have an opening at 10 o'clock. Would that work for you? Good, Mary. I have you at 1050 Jefferson Street. Is that correct? All right. Well, write my name down. Again, my name is Adam and I'll see you at 10 o'clock. That's it. You don't need to pre-screen the lead. You don't need to ask them about their health. You don't need to ask them if they have a bank account. If you're trying to sell it over the phone before you even go and visit them, you're wasting your time, I think. The purpose of the phone call is to get the appointment and to get off the phone. That's it. Some rejections that you might get, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, it's that card you filled out. Remember that yellow card that talked about how Social Security only pays $255 upon your death? Oh yeah, I remember doing that. Okay. Uh, or if they just say, no, that's not a good time for me. All I do, I just keep throwing different times at them. Okay, well, 10 o'clock's not good. How about 12 o'clock? How about 3 o'clock? How about 5 o'clock? I mean, sooner or later, I mean, sometime is going to have to work for them, right? And if you can't get an appointment with them, don't push too hard. Don't call anymore. Like I said, just show up at their house a couple days later. And, or even if they tell me to mail them something, same thing. I just say, all right, yeah, I'll do what I can to get the information to you. And then I'll just show up at their house a couple days later. And if they know that it's the person that they talked to on the phone, I'll just tell them, yeah, I happen to be in the area, and just figured while I was out here, I'd just try catching up with you. I had that information to drop off to you. And you got about 10 minutes to go over it. So just a few tips to help you once you are out in the field or ready to get out in the field and ready to sell. I recommend to buy a Garmin GPS. All right. I know your phone probably has GPS on it. I like to keep it separate. Maybe just because I'm on the phone a lot. I think it's easier to program stuff into the GPS, the device that's separate. Where, see, what I'm doing when I'm working the leads, like I mentioned, my way of doing it, I don't need to set up appointments to get out of my house. I'm motivated. I know that I can go out and take leads and catch people at home just showing up at their house. So I don't set up appointments. I take the direct mail leads when they come in. I get into my Garmin GPS. I set up a route, and I plug in all the addresses. It's going to give me the fastest route, and I just go from one stop to the next. There is an app that you can get on your phone if you don't want to buy a separate device. You might have to pay for it if you want the full version. It's called Road Warrior. There might be others too, but Road Warrior I know is one that does it, where you can, what you need is a GPS where you can add in more than one stop. You don't want to go from point A to point B. You want to be able to go from point A to point Z. So you plug in all the addresses, and when the leads arrive, like I said, through Trip Planner, you can add in multiple addresses, and then you can optimize the order of the stops. So it's gonna reorganize your leads into the fastest route, and then it's just gonna take you from one stop to the next to the next. What I love about it, I mean, it's just so much more time efficient. I get so much more done throughout the day doing it this way. I could probably run 20 leads when they're all in the same zip code in about 3 or 4 hours. And then I can turn around and put another route together and just do it again. The people that weren't home and things like that. So let's see. Someone mentioned that Road Warrior is a good app, that they have used that. Someone else mentioned there's one called En Route. Okay, you guys might see this in the chat. So then put your leads in the order that your GPS reorganize those leads, and then just get started. One after the next and the next. Begin the route and stop by each lead as they come in. Now, if the lead is not home, make a note on the back of the lead of what time you were there. It's just like putting pieces to a puzzle together. It's a bunch of trial and error. I don't know if I have it on here or not. I'm going to mention, and it might pop up on here, but one other tip for you would be to ask a lot of questions if you go to the house and the person that answers the door is not the person that you're there to see. The person that you're there to see is not home. If someone else comes to the door, try to get as much information out of that person as you can. That's going to make your job a lot easier. So let's just say I'm there to see Mary and Mary's not home. Oh, well, what's the best time to reach her? I mean, is she usually home during the day, or is evening better? They might tell me evening's better. Well, if they tell me evening's better, okay, well, does she work during the day? Uh, what about weekends? Are weekends good? Uh, if she's home, is there another car here? Is there usually another car in the driveway? What kind of car does she drive? Oh, she drives a white Jeep. Okay, I'll make a note of that. So the more information you can get, well, then when you're driving by the house, especially if I have a ton of people to catch up with, if I drive past the house and I don't see that white Jeep there, well, then I know that she's probably not there. But if I drive past and I see the Jeep there, well, then I know that there's a good chance she's going to be home and I'm going to stop. So just little things like that that can make your job a little bit easier. Get as much information out of those people as you can. And then once you've run every lead, put another route together. Like I said, when you get out there, plan on spending the whole day out in the field. I don't go home at 5 o'clock. Uh, I kind of look at it, if I went home at 5 o'clock, I would be sitting in traffic. Who wants to sit in traffic for 2 hours? You know what I could do for those 2 hours? I could run more leads. And I'm going to catch people at home that were working during the day. And I'm going to make some sales. By the time I go home, I'm not going to be stuck in traffic, and I'm probably going to get home at the same time as if I would have been sitting in traffic for 2 hours. So again, it all comes back to the work ethic and the willingness to succeed in what you want to get out of this. But I recommend, and I guess I'm kind of old school a little bit with this, but get something to just stay organized that you keep in your car with you to organize your leads. Like I mentioned, especially the direct mail leads, these companies will send you the hard copy of the leads. So get like a little index card holder and set up 2 sections. The sections I set up are AM for morning and afternoon. And then, so I guess I could say morning and afternoon. And then the other section would be night and weekend. And I'm going to run that lead throughout the day a few times. I'll also run it at the night and weekend. But then a lot of times after a while, if I just keep trying during the day, then I'll probably move it over to my night and weekend section. And I'll try reaching those people after 5 o'clock at night if I tried 3 or 4 times during the day and I just can't get them. So again, that's really my organization is just kind of old school with I don't need a CRM with the hard copy of the lead. That's right next to me and my passenger seat in the car, and that's what I'm going through when I'm working on putting my route together. And then I can reorganize those leads and just hit the leads one after the next. What should you wear out in the field? I keep it pretty casual, business casual. We're working a lot of middle to lower income areas. I don't think you want to look too intimidating. So keep it casual. Even my mannerisms, I'm very casual out in the field. I like for people to just feel very comfortable. I don't want to be intimidating. So keep it business casual. The Security National Life polo shirts are great. They're $20 a piece. I mean, if they're a nice dry fit shirt, you could go to the mall and buy a shirt and spend more money on it on a golf shirt that's like the same material. But ours, it's nice. It's got the company logo on it. You can order them right in our agent portal. You can't beat it for $20. So the SNL golf shirt, that's what I wear out in the field. I wear the SNL golf shirt, some dress pants, and some dress shoes. And that's good enough. Especially in the summer when it's so hot. A lot of our clients, a lot of the homes I'm in, they don't even have their air conditioning running. So you could get pretty hot. You don't want to have on too many layers. But just keep it casual. Keep the client comfortable. Don't look intimidating. What do you take up to the door? And the reason I added this, I had some agents telling me that when they run leads, they would keep the door open to their car and they would just run up to the house to see if the person was home. And then they'd say, okay, well, let me go back to my car and get my stuff. And then I'll come back in. And I could see that second that agent turning around, the person slamming the door and locking it and never opening that door for the person again. So walk up to the door with whatever you need to make a sale. Uh, I use our S&L Padfolio. It's a very nice leather case, pretty simple, not too big. There's a notepad that fits in there. You can throw your iPad or any other kind of tablet that you have. You can fit some brochures and some apps. That's all you need. So, I mean, don't go up with a huge briefcase where it looks like you're going to be spending the weekend there. That can look intimidating. Just walk up with a nice little case with all the materials that you need to make a sale. With the plan on getting in the door right then and there. You're not walking back to your car to grab your stuff. So then we're just about done today. The door knock approach, pretty simple. I walk up to the house with confidence, smile and wave as you're walking up. The reason I smile and wave as I walk up is, I mean, I'm sure you know, when you're home, there's a lot of times someone shows up at your house and you're looking out the window. They might not see you as they're walking up to the house, but you see them. So if I get out of my car, the first thing I'm doing is I'm smiling and I'm waving as I'm walking up, because there's a good chance they're peeking out the window and they can see me. And if they think that I saw them, there's a better chance that they're actually going to answer the door. So I smile and I wave, walk up with confidence. Have that mindset that they're expecting you, that their checkbook's open and they're just waiting to take out a policy with you. That's how that's the mindset that I have when I walk up to the door. I take a deep breath. I want to feel real good about myself, real comfortable. Even if I'm having the worst day, you don't want to show it. Knock on the door and say one of the two options, depending on the direct mail lead piece. Very assumptive. I never say I never say, is so-and-so home? I always say, I'm here to see. Hi, I'm here to see Mary. If they ask if he or she is expecting you, I always say yes. Well, yeah, of course she's expecting me. She filled this card out requesting information. She's probably waiting for me to get here, right? So I always say, yeah, she's expecting me. Hi, Mary, my name is Adam with Security National, and you recently sent this card back that I'm showing to her, requesting information on the life and burial insurance program. And I just had the information to share with you real quick. I always say real quick. It takes about 10 minutes. Can I come in? The other one, just very similar. The only difference is I don't say life insurance if the lead piece does not say life insurance. I'll say you recently sent this card back requesting information on your Social Security death benefit and the final expense program that's being offered. I just had the information to share with you real quick. It takes about 10 minutes. Can I come in? If it's a Facebook lead, the Facebook leads usually don't say insurance. I might even say I'm with senior benefits and you recently, and see the reason I had this, and honestly, I could probably switch it back to Security National Life now. In the past, before we had our own company generated Facebook leads, I was working more of those generic Facebook leads that were coming off of pages that said things like senior benefits or Illinois senior benefits. So that's why I would just say, hi, my name is Adam with senior benefits. You recently were scrolling through Facebook and had requested information from us regarding your Social Security death benefit and state regulated final expense benefits that you may be entitled to. I just had the information shared with you real quick. Takes about 10 minutes. Can I come in? So it's as simple as that. You don't need to try to sell it at the door. Don't hand out quotes at the door. You need the purpose of being at the door is to get in the house, not to set up an appointment for later, to get in the door, to do a presentation, and to make a sale right then and there. And don't forget to smile. So the presentation materials, what you want to do, and this is basically just the preparation for the presentation. We're going to go through the presentation next week. You want to go back over to my website, adambrsan.com. You get into the training section. you're going to scroll down, and on the left side, you're going to see the presentation. There's some downloadable files. There's a script that you can download. There's a presentation PDF. So download the script and the presentation PDF. The PDF, you could, I put it into the, I don't know, what's it called, like iBooks or something, in my tablet on my iPad, where I just go to that PDF and I scroll right through that while I'm in the home with the client going through the presentation. Or you could print out the presentation PDF. You could put it like maybe in some plastic sleeves and put it in a binder. I would recommend over this next week to go through the script and to learn it, and watch the videos on my website. There's a video of me going through the presentation. And then next week, we'll go through it. We'll go through the presentation. You can kind of see why I do things the way that I do them. As I mentioned earlier, I like to just be a little bit different than the last 10 people that walked into the house where everything kind of sounded the same. So I guess I kind of like to be like a breath of fresh air walking into the house, and maybe talking a little bit more about the need and how I can help them and make sure that their family is going to be taken care of when the time comes. So get over onto adambrsan.com on the training section. Next week, we'll be going through the presentation. And also, for more in-depth training, my YouTube channel, check it out. YouTube.com/C/Adam Brsan. Lots of not just company specific stuff. There's a lot of just good training tools, different scenarios that I've run into out in the field, different objections and how to overcome certain objections in certain situations and things like that. So I'd recommend to go over to my YouTube and subscribe, and as I add more content, you'll be notified, and you can check out those materials. So I don't think I had any more questions on here. I think we're good. If anybody has any questions before I sign off, let me know. But thanks for coming on today. We went a little bit over an hour, but thanks for hanging in there. I felt like everything we went over was pretty useful. So thanks again. I hope you all have a great weekend, and looking forward to everybody getting back out in the field. I know everybody's antsy and ready to get out there and start making some sales. So I guess I'll leave you with this. I think that mindset is so important, and don't have the mindset that people are not going to want to talk to you. Because if you have that mindset, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get more and more people not wanting to talk to you. The current pandemic that we have going on, I think a lot of people are just going to use it as an excuse. So don't let them make it an excuse for not wanting to talk to you. And if you just can't get anywhere with the people and that's what they're using as an excuse, in my opinion, they probably would have used something else as an excuse had this pandemic never happened. So it's just, to me, it's just going to be an easy way out for people, but don't have that mindset that the people want to talk to you. People are filling cards out requesting information. They want to talk to you. People are looking at ads on Facebook and they're requesting information. They want to be talking to you. Thanks again, and have a great weekend.